So welcome to the fifth and final part of beginner's yoga. I'm really excited that you made it this far, so really big well done. So we're not at the end just yet, we've still got this session to get through. So we're going to start lying down. So just gently lower yourself down to the ground, keeping the knees bent, soles of the feet flat against the floor. Just take the feet about hip width apart, arms resting down by the sides. Just close down the eyes for a few moments. And start to connect to your breath, finding the equal parts breathing. Just taking that time to transition from whatever you were doing before, not thinking about what we're doing next either. With every exhale, see if you can just soften a little more, let go of any tension. Allow the shoulders to relax down. Great. Now opening the eyes. You're going to stay exactly as you are. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to roll the pelvis back towards the head and then start to lift the spine up off the mat, just rolling up one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, take an inhale and exhale, rolling back down. See if you can plant one vertebrae down at a time. So we're not looking to just lift the entire spine as a unit. We want to very carefully articulate through the spine. So we're lifting up one vertebrae at a time. Rolling up really slowly. When you get to the top, take an inhale. And exhale, rolling back down. Slowly planting one vertebrae down at a time. I'm going to do that once more. Take an inhale at the bottom. Exhale, slowly rolling up. Inhale at the top. And then exhale to roll down. You might feel like your spine is more or less moving as one solid unit. And that's quite common, so don't worry about that too much. You can absolutely pause the video here and have another go. Have a few more tries even. Otherwise, we're bringing the knees in towards the chest. You're going to place the hands onto the knees and then draw the knees away from you towards the front of the mat. Take the knees apart, round to the sides, circle them back around towards the chest. Keep that going, some nice circular movements. Starting to warm up through the hips. When you've done a few one way, take them in the opposite direction. Try to keep the feet soft as you do this. Nice. And then you're either going to grab hold behind the thighs and gently rock up to a seat, or you can just roll onto one side and make your way up. So I'm just going to grab my cushions. Find a comfortable seat. You can absolutely sit up on a cushion. I'm going to do that. It's just nice to raise the hips and allow a little bit more space in your body. And once you've found your seat, sitting up tall through the spine, remember that long piece of string lifting up. And take the arms out to the sides. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the arms back down. Twice more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, take them back down. Inhale in. And if your arms don't come alongside your ears, they're slightly forward, don't worry about that. A lot of us don't have that range of movement. And exhale, back down. And take the arms up once again. Bring the right palm down to the ground. Really reach tall through those fingers of the left hand and side bend over to the right. It's your choice here. Maybe you want to make small pulses. Maybe you just want to hold it. So just finding some length from the tip of the fingers all the way down into that left hip, stretching through the side body. And come back to centre, both arms overhead, and take it to the other side. So left palm comes down, reach through the right fingers, side bend into the left. It might feel totally different on this side, that's perfectly normal. We always seem to have one side of the body that's stronger and another side that's more open. It's just down to the way that we use our bodies on a daily basis. Coming back to centre, both arms overhead. Bring the left palm to the right knee. Take the right fingertips behind, gentle twist over towards the right. So remember, we're just isolating the movement from the waist up. So you're not going to actually twist very far. Try to keep your nose in line with your navel. There's no need to be trying to look over your shoulder. One more breath here. Both arms back overhead. Take it to the other side. Right palm comes to the left knee. Left fingertips go behind. And if it's causing you problems with your breathing, just back off a little bit. And of course, we don't ever want any kind of pain. Feeling some sensation or a stretch is fine, but we never want to feel any pain. And back to centre, and just bring both hands to the knees. We're going to do a seated variation of a cat-cow, which is what we normally do on our hands and knees. We've already got some movement into the spine when we did those roll-ups before. So I want you to arch the spine back, so you're making like a C shape with the spine, really allowing your spine to curve, dropping the head. Then inhale, lifting up and arching through the spine the other way. So just moving between the two. Drawing the shoulders back on the inhale, allowing the shoulders to round forwards on the exhale. And just do one more in either direction. And then come back to neutral. Nice. So we're going to make our way to tabletop. So coming onto hands and knees, you know by now, the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, spread the fingers nice and wide, finding tabletop. Going to tuck the right toes, slide the foot out behind, just gently rocking back and forth, stretching out the back of that leg, finding some length in the muscles. And come back to stillness, make sure the wrists are underneath the shoulders. I'm going to raise that leg behind and keep the toes pointing down, so we're keeping the hips and the pelvis level. Engage the deep abdominals to keep you steady. Try to make sure you're not pressing more weight into one hand. So we want to be pressing down evenly with both hands, not leaning to either side. If you want to take it a little bit further, you're going to extend that left arm out in front. So try and keep your spine neutral here. We don't want to be arching at all. Using our abdominals to hold us steady. And take the hand and the foot back down. Bring the knee back. We're just going to do that on the other side. So tuck in the left toes, slide the leg behind, and just take a moment just to gently rock and lengthen through that leg. When you're ready, I'm going to raise the leg, toes pointing down. Engage the abdominals. If you want to take it further, you're going to extend the right arm out in front. So keeping a nice long spine, our gaze is down towards the mat, keeping that length in the neck. Just one more breath here, and gently release everything back to the mat. I'll show you on the left side first so you can see. So you're going to keep this shape with the leg, and you're just going to extend it out towards the side. So it's a little bit like a dog peeing up a lamppost. Just gently raising and lowering. Again, keep the abdominals drawn in to keep you stable. And then we're going to start to make some circles. It doesn't matter which way that you go first, we're going to go in both directions. And changing directions when you're ready. Bringing that knee back down. We're going to do that on the other side. So keeping that shape with the legs, you're just going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. And don't forget to breathe. I'm going to do 2 more here and then moving on to the leg circles. Last one, and then start to circle the leg. So really getting into the hip joint here. And then reverse those circles. And just one more. Nice. Lovely. So just walk your knees back a little bit. Gently lower down onto the belly. We're coming into Sphinx pose. We've done this before. So bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Forearms and palms are flat to the ground. Actively pressing everything that's touching the mat into the ground. And pulling the chest forwards. We're not trying to look up here. We want to keep the neck nice and long. Actively drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. If you feel any pinching in the lower back, just take the feet out a little bit wider. Give yourself some more space, that should feel better. And if you still feel any pinching, just walk the arms forward a little bit more. So the closer the elbows are to the body, the more intense it is. Lots of little things that you can do there to change the intensity. Nice. And then take the elbows out wide so you can lower the chest back down. Bring the hands in line with the ribs. Tuck the toes under. I'm going to push up and sit the hips back towards the heels. So it's like a modified child's pose. Just take a moment here. One more breath. And really press into the palms, lift the knees, press the hips up high and back into a downward facing dog. Have a little pedal out of the feet, bending into one knee, straightening the other leg. And come to stillness, just take 3 breaths here, in and out. Really pressing the chest towards the thighs, keep a bend in the knees. See if you can find some more length in the spine. And bend the knees really deeply, look forwards. And walk the feet towards the hands, so we're at the top of the mat in a forward fold. Keeping a bend in the knees. You can take hold of opposite elbows of opposite hands. Just allow the upper body to relax and sway. You can take circular movements, go side to side. Just releasing the lower back a little. And let the arms go, let the arms be really heavy. And start to slowly roll up through the spine. So see if you can stack one vertebra on top of the other. Head is heavy, the arms are heavy. Head is the last thing to rise. And when you get to the top, just give your shoulders a few circles one way and then the other. Nice. So we're going to be looking at sun salutations today. What you'll find is there are lots of different versions of sun salutations in different disciplines of yoga. So don't worry too much if you've seen it done differently. A lot of teachers teach it differently and other styles of yoga teach it differently. So we're just sticking to the basics for this, and it's going to be movements that you'll see in a lot of yoga classes. So starting in mountain pose at the top of the mat, feet are hip width apart. Keep a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. I'm just going to do a half salutation first. Bring the hands together. I'm going to exhale and hinge from the hips to fold forwards. Try to keep the spine long as you can. And then soften and relax down. Bend in the knees, forward fold. And inhale, lift up halfway, finding your flat back position. So remember that upside down L shape. So either your fingertips are on the ground, or maybe on the shins, or maybe they're up here on the thighs. Keep the shoulders actively drawing back. We don't want to let them drop and round forwards. And the crown of the head is reaching forward, so the gaze is down towards the ground. Exhale, folding back down. You're going to bend the knees deeply. Sweep the arms out to the side. We inhale, pressing to stand. Hands together. And draw them down in front of the heart space. So we're adding on this time. We're going to do a full salutation. Just take a couple of breaths. Get your breath back. As you're ready, drop the fingertips down to come up. Inhaling. Exhale. Hinge at the hips to fold forward. Soften and round down into your forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Draw the shoulder blades back, flat back position. Exhale, rounded back forwards. Just take a moment here. You're going to step the right foot back, step the left foot back. So we're in a plank. Knees can be lowered or lifted. I'm going to shift the weight forwards, bend the elbows and slowly lower down onto the belly. And inhale, roll the shoulders back, lifting up to a cobra. It doesn't have to be a big cobra, it can just be a little tiny baby cobra. Exhale back down. If you're doing it on knees, you're just going to press back up to knees, tuck the toes and lift yourself into a downward facing dog. Or if you're feeling particularly strong, you can tuck the toes, press back up into your plank and then push the hips back into a downward facing dog. Just take a breath here. Inhale, looking forwards. You can step to the front of the mat. One big step or baby steps, doesn't matter how you get there. So back in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale to fold forwards. Bend the knees, take the arms out to the sides. Press into the feet, inhaling, lifting all the way up. Bring the hands together and draw them down in front of the heart space. So that's just one of your basic sun salutations. We'll run through that once more. So we'll go probably a little bit quicker now that you know what you're doing. Drop the fingertips down. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Bring the hands together. Exhale as you fold forwards. Forward fold. Inhale, find your flat back position. Exhale, folding back down, bend the knees. Step the right foot back, step the left foot back. Plank pose, knees lowered or lifted. Shift the weight forward. Bend the elbows, lower down with control. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lifting the head and the chest. Cobra. Exhale, lowering down. Tucking the toes and either pressing up into plank or onto hands and knees. Pushing the hips up high and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Baby steps or one big step all the way to the front of the mat. Back into your forward fold. Inhale, lifts you up halfway. And exhale, folding forwards. Bend the knees deeply. Arms out to the sides. Press into the feet to come to stand. Bring the hands together in front of the heart space. Exhale. Well done. So sun salutations are something that you'll find very often in a yoga class. They form a lot of the basis for flow yoga. Another thing they're really good for, if you can only spare 5 minutes to do a little practice, doing a few rounds of sun salutations is a really, really good way to maintain your practice. So now you've got your breath back. You're going to come into mountain pose again. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forwards. From here, you're going to take your feet out as wide as the mat. Bring the heels in and the toes out. You're going to drop your centre down between the legs, keeping the arms on the inside of the knees. Into a yogi squat, malasana or garland pose. You're going to press the elbows into the knees, bringing the hands together. You're actively using your elbows to press the legs out. So I'll show you from the front. It looks like this. I'm trying to keep the spine nice and long so we're not sort of rolling up into a little ball. You can absolutely use your props, use some cushions or something just to sit up on. It can be quite intense on the hips, so whatever works for you. You can absolutely prop yourself up. Another thing is, if your feet won't come flat to the ground, maybe you're quite tight in the calves, it's okay to have your heels lifted. Just know that in time that they will open up and gradually start to sink towards the ground. And you might find for you, you can actually take your stance a little bit narrower. I can't, it means lifting my heels, but we're all different. So have a little play around and find a version that works for you. Nice. So we're going to come to hands and knees. Don't worry, we're nearly finished with our practice for today. Coming back into a tabletop. I'm going to extend the right arm out to the side and then draw it underneath the body, lowering the head. So we're resting on our shoulder, getting a nice stretch through the shoulder. This left hand can either stay where it is. You can use it to press into the ground to make it less intense. Maybe you want to take the left arm behind. Maybe you want to extend it out in front. And of course, if it's just not possible for you to come all the way down just yet, just stay where you are, wherever you can come to that's comfortable for you. Taking a few breaths. Press into that left palm, engage the core to come back up. And we'll do that on the other side. So take the left arm out to the side, draw the hand in and underneath. Come into rest on the shoulder and on the side of the head. Right hand either stays where it is, you can take it behind, or maybe reach out in front. Just take 2 more breaths here. Nice, and press into that right palm to come back up. And take the knees out as wide as the mat, bring the big toes to touch, sit the hips back towards the heels, reaching the arms out in front, lowering the head and the chest towards the ground, into a child's pose. So if you need to use your props, maybe you need to put them between your legs, maybe you need a cushion for your head. I'm going to walk the hands over to the right side. So stretching through the left side body, sorry. If you want to take that a little bit deeper, actively press that left shoulder down towards the ground. Nice, and walking the hands back through centre, or take it over to the left. And again, if you want to take it a little bit deeper, just actively press the right shoulder down towards the ground. Coming back through centre, just walk the hands towards you so that the torso comes up, and we'll make our way down to the ground. When you get there, just draw the knees in towards the chest, have a little rock side to side, maybe some circular movements, just massaging that lower back into the mat. And bring the soles of the feet down to the mat, take them about as wide as the mat, arms out to the sides. You can just drop the knees over to one side and just hold. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can bring the foot over the knee to a deeper stretch. And if you want to use your cushions to prop your legs up, you can do. Inhale, bring the legs back to centre, and exhale, take them over to the other side. And this side might feel totally different, and again, it's perfectly normal. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can bring that foot on top of the thigh. Be a nice deep stretch on this outer part of the hip. And of course, if it causes any pinching or anything in your back, just don't drop the legs over as far, because it is a twist as well. Inhale, coming back to centre. So grab hold of your cushions. Doesn't matter whether you need them or not. We want this to be a bit more of a restorative pose. We're going to place the cushions just so that they're underneath the knees. Lying down, you're just going to bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop open to the side. So our reclined bound angle pose. I'm just going to relax the shoulders down, closing the eyes. See if you can relax the hips, relax the weight of the legs. These supported postures are very relaxing for us. They just allow us to more easily release tension from the body. And you can use as many cushions underneath your legs as you need to. If your legs tend to be up here, just grab a couple of extra cushions. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Use your hands to gently bring the thighs back together. And if you want to, you can leave the cushions where they are to support your legs. Either way, we're coming into a final relaxation. So take the legs out long down the mat. Let the feet drop open. Arms can be out by the sides, or maybe you want to rest your hands on your belly. Whatever feels most relaxing to you. And closing down the eyes. Allowing the heartbeat to return to normal. Allowing the breath to return to its own natural rhythm. And just mentally scan through your body. Can you soften the forehead a little? Relaxing the jaw. Let the tongue rest in the bottom of the mouth. Release the weight of the shoulders to the ground. Relaxing the legs. Just allowing the ground to support you here. And give yourself permission to fully relax and restore. As you're ready, just bring back some small movement, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe gently rock the head from side to side. And take the arms up overhead, take a big full body stretch. As you're ready, just rolling onto one side. Just take a few breaths here. And using your hands to press all the way back up to take a seat. Try and keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands together in front of the heart space. Exhale, drop the chin towards the chest. Namaste. So really big well done to you all for getting this far. I really hope that you're continuing your practice. I hope you've now got the confidence to go on and do other yoga classes, or maybe even an in-person class. There's plenty more videos on my channel that you could give a go. And yeah, I hope to see some of you in class soon.